Hey again, YouTube, it's Mr. Schwab. I just wanted to make a quick video on the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice's, Justice Services 07E and 09E courses, the Basic Handgun and the Advanced Handgun. So, for being a personal protection specialist, essentially somebody who works in close protection, or another fancy term is bodyguard, you'll be required to take handgun courses, and there's the basic and then the advanced. So when it comes to the basic and stuff, you will it's like any other handgun course. You're going to learn essentially the four cardinal rules of gun safety. Just as an example, point the gun in a safe direction, always treat it as it's loaded, etc., etc. But you're going to go through a lot, and it is a very good course in general, since you're going to be working as an armed protection agent if you go the PPS route. So things you're going to learn are basically, the sections are practical handgun handling, fundamentals of marksmanship, the dim, low light, reduced light practice and familiarization, the use of force or the force continuum, the liability such as criminal, civil, and negligent discharge prevention, and also, judgmental shooting, certain scenarios you'll be presented with in whether you can shoot, cannot shoot, and also if it is going to essentially be what they would consider a justifiable homicide, or a self-defense, use of a firearm in self-defense. So the last thing they go over is kind of lead exposure. So you want to be careful with how much you shoot, simply because you can develop a lot of lead in your system and your body, and if you hit a specific limit, the CDC will be notified. So little things like that. And with the advanced handgun, essentially you're going to go more over the laws and statutes that cover firearm use, and trying to think if there's anything else. That seems to basically cover it. So in the advanced firearm class, it just depends on who your instructor is. They're going to go over some further drills, so practicing drawing, throwing the jacket open, and essentially grabbing your firearm, pointing it properly, and they're going to go over things like low ready, high ready. They're going to go over also just proper sight alignment, and just other principles of advanced marksmanship. So whether you're going to keep one eye open or both eyes open when you shoot. So also they go over decision making, kind of like keep being smart when you draw your firearm, because when you do draw your firearm, that's also considered brandishing. And in the court of law, if you ever do anything with the firearm, you have to articulate the reason why you did it, especially when it comes to the use of deadly force. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that go into it when it comes to firearm training. So you definitely want to be well versed in loading your firearm and manipulating it, and knowing exactly kind of how a firearm in general just works, regarding handguns specifically. And also you're going to definitely want to know the laws, where you can carry, where you can't carry, the types of equipment you should be using, concealed carry law and authority. In general, if you're going to be going down this route when it comes to being a personal protection specialist, you should have a concealed carry permit, because there's no point in open carrying and letting essentially the adversaries out there who want to hurt your client, letting them know that you're carrying a firearm via open carry. So that's kind of silly. So with that said, find a good school, find a good teacher, someone who's reputable, who's been, has more than 10 plus years firearms experience. And in general, you should find the type of firearm that you want to use in the class as well, because you will be graded at the range. You'll have a range day for both classes, for both the basic and the advanced handgun. So, whether it's going to be SIG or Glock or, Beretta, whatever the point is, you have to find the proper firearm that you are going to practice with, and train how you're going to work. Practice how you train. I think that's the phrase. And what was the other thing I was going to mention regarding firearms? You can't carry anything less than essentially 9mm or 38 special. I wanted to carry 380, but that is not one of the calibers that the Virginia DCJS recognizes. They only recognize 9mm, 40 cal, and 45mm plus 38 special, and I think probably everything between that, but they just don't go below 9mm. So it's one of those, you're kind of limited. So if you have like a Walther PPK or PPKS, which shoots 380, you're not going to be able to use that. If you have like a SIG Sauer P230 or 232, they're not going to shoot that. Same thing with the I'm trying to think, Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, they're not going to allow you to shoot that. So if you have a really small caliber gun, that's kind of nixed, at least in Virginia. So just some things to keep in mind when you're going to be going for the 07E and 09E courses. Now each course is about, if I'm not mistaken, the 07E is 16 hours and 09E is 14 hours. And it might seem like a lot of the same stuff you'll be going over in both classes. They kind of overlap, but that's just how the DCJS does it. So they're good classes. You're going to be paying roughly about $200 per, so anywhere between $200 and $250. Each class is about 2 or 3 days, and again, you'll have a range day on a separate day. So what I also recommend you do is get the shotgun and or the patrol rifle course. So basically, you're going to go 07E, 08E, 09E, and 10E. Get as many of those as you can, because the more certified you are, the more of an asset you are. So yeah, in general, thanks for watching, and have a good day.